Hey everybody, it's Jochen Hayden, and I'm back with the Desert Wolf versus Wirraway Ace War in the Pacific campaign. This is scenario 1 with stacking limits, and today we'll be looking at the 23rd of November 1942 combat replay. Okay, here we go. November 23rd, 1942. So I just got done dealing with my Lodric campaign video, and I'm so depressed how things are going with that. So I'm really looking forward to watching a properly run allied campaign that's doing well. You know, this is something that I can hopefully have to look forward to when I'm playing. If I make it this far in my campaign, this is what I have to look forward to: is this dominance that the Allies have that I am not experiencing in my campaigns right now. I'm just getting my butt kicked in. This is where I come to feel better about myself. Okay. Um, are we doing the Charters Towers thing again? Why are we going back here again? I don't. Somebody needs to tell poor Wirraway that there is nothing there. Let's get some night bombing on the Liberators. Oil hits, huh? Hmm. Ah, I don't know. Oil hits again. Ooh. So I don't know if they have any house rules against this, but typically a lot of players agree to no bombing of industry in China for all of 1942. And I understand what's going on here. Uh, Desert Wolf is trying to deny oil to Wirraway, but I don't know if they have an agreement about that or not. This seems like it might be kind of a cheap shot, if I may be so bold to say. This does seem like a bit of a cheap shot to the Japanese player in China. I get it in other places, but typically, like, it's a slippery slope when you start bombing each other's strategic stuff in China, because the Japanese can do that to the Chinese early on in the campaign and really wreck it, like make it completely untenable for the Chinese. So most people don't, because the Japanese have that power early on and they don't. But it does seem kind of maybe taking advantage of the situation to do it back to the Japanese. I don't know. Maybe I'm misreading the situation. Okay. Let's just watch it. All right. Okay, so that's your night bombing campaign for this turn. Oil hits on Lanchow, which is now Japanese, and the Japanese bombing Charters Towers in Australia again. I don't. Oh shoot! He's going in, dude. He's going in. Dude. Okay, so the Japanese are going into Akagi and they're bombarding. Let's see what happens here. I don't think we don't need to watch this animation, but here's what we do see. The Japanese ships are bombarding Akagi, and the shore batteries are firing back. So we're going to look to see what kind of damage the Japanese inflict, and we want to see if they take any hits from the shore batteries. That didn't really do anything. I would have expected more from that. I guess two destroyers just don't have the guns to get anything done. I was expecting him to wreck a lot of aircraft on the ground there. But I think he needed to send a lot more ships into that to do that. Okay, we're got some coast watchers now. Naval movement. No way. Oh, no! No! That's a big tanker to be losing. Oh, shoot. Oh, the Dutch subs. Why would he be moving tankers in here right now like this? He's gotta know. Wirraway's gotta know he's got subs all over this place like a cheap suit, right? That's costly. I would not be sending a big tanker like that anywhere near the Marshalls right now. Anywhere near there. That's gonna hurt, man. Man. I don't know if that ship will sink or not, but that's not good. Well, listen, if you guys hear a ship sinking sound, you know what it is. Oh, okay. Patrol, the PBY is dropping bombs on a little patrol boat out there. Man, those PBYs are deadly right now. Okay, I want to pause. I'm gonna pause this real quick. I want to tell you guys something. I just learned something on my Discord by all the OGs there. These reports in blue. Okay, I never really gave these much thought. When you have a report in blue down here, it means that it's not reliable. It means that what's being reported is probably false or inaccurate. I always just never paid any attention. So if you're a new player like me and you're getting these reports and they seem a little suspect, like it spots the Japanese task force off of, Prince Rupert, and you know that there's no way, and you come down and you see that it's in blue, you can almost guarantee that it's bogus. So blue is bogus. Okay, I just want to share that with you. Pressing on. There we go. Right, back to work. We got P-38Es doing a sweep over Millie. All right, looks like the bombing raids are going to be targeting Millie a bit today. Okay, he's targeting the actual airfield. Didn't do too much damage to it, and there doesn't appear to be any aircraft there. At least they didn't hit any this time. Oh, I lied. There are aircraft, and once again, we're always doing what it does best, getting aircraft destroyed on the ground. Personally, I would have pulled all aircraft out of Millie a while ago. All right. The AM phase was pretty benign. So far, it... Oh, did you hear that? I think that tanker just sank, guys. Golly, what a loss. That was a big tanker. can't believe he'd even be operating those big things so close to all these allied subs. He's got to see them. These PBYs are out there just bombing everything. Look at that. Hit one. Alright, so I have no idea if the Kido Butai is still here or not. So let's find out what happens here. Personally, I do think that Wirraway, being the cautious player that he is, won't attack again and is probably pulling away. That could very well be them right there. Okay, that was a pretty benign air phase, all said and done. Kido Butai did not attack again. They are gone. Discretion was the better part of valor, and he left. I don't blame him. I'm sure when we look at the actual turn files, we'll see that Dez will stack tons of fighters in Akagi. That's my guess. Oh no. Why? No. Okay, well, Wirraway is attacking here. I don't think he's going to break through. I think he's going to take a lot of losses here. Yeah, look at this. Are you guys seeing this? Look. Japanese adjusted 56 to 36.22, 1 to 64. Oh. It's weird that the only casualties were from the vehicles and no infantry at all. I don't understand that. This seems a bit odd, doesn't it? Both of these loss numbers seem really low for this kind of an attack. But be that as it may, this is just proving what I've been saying, that this is an impassable hex. There's nothing that Wirraway can bring into here to break through. The terrain is just too good for the Chinese. With the stacking limits, you can't put a death. He can't do what Lodric does and put a death stack of 500,000 troops in one thing and just bludgeon your way through. You can't do that in this campaign. But these attacks are not any good. Okay, we have a bombardment attack a bit further north of where we were just at, south of Lanchow. And is quite inconclusive. Okay, another bombardment at Tunki. These have not been very fruitful for the Japanese to date. Yeah, not much to show for that. That's it. That's the turn. Well, definitely a bit less action than what we were expecting. What we had the last turn where the Kido Butai hit Akagi, but yeah, I can't wait to look and see where they're at. My guesses are kind of a beam of Rangoon and heading away, probably towards Singapore to patch up and refuel, rearm, and then from there, who knows? Let's see if we get any reinforcements here. Okay, that's a sub. Those are subs. Oiler. Couple Oilers. A couple air units as well. All right. Let's take a look at this. Let's see what we got. Okay, let's take a look at this turn. Okay, aircraft losses for this turn, a total of 2 each. A Dina, a Tina, a Catalina, and a P-38 Lightning. From those, unfortunately, both aircraft that crashed killed their pilots. Looking at the Army loss points, it's 2 for the Allies, 1 for the Japanese. Ship sunk last turn, nothing at all. Although I question that based on the noises that we heard. Looking at political points, it does appear from my math that Deswolf spent 191 political points last turn. So that sounds like about a regiment's worth of troops that he bought out. So I'll look around the map for that. I don't know if I'm going to find it with all the stuff he's got, but that's a significant amount of political points to spend in a turn. So something big was purchased one way or the other. For the turn, the Allies gain an additional 16 points, bringing the Japanese win ratio back down to 1.621. Alright, so this won't take long. I went through the combat report and didn't see anything noteworthy. I thought I saw Deswolf mention that he thought there might have been a desync, and I'm not seeing it. Maybe he saw one on his end. I'm not seeing it on mine. Look at the SIGINT. You guys can pause your screen and look at this yourself. I didn't see anything in here that was particularly noteworthy. And then look at the ops report. Again, same story. I didn't see anything in here that really stood out to me as something worth talking about. Although we do see that the pilots that were killed are here in VP 51 and a P-38E pilot. Okay. Oh, this is interesting too. Paramushirojima is at airfield size 7. That's a pretty big base. Akagi size port 3. That helps for moving supplies. And Lashio up to fortification size 4. So good luck Japanese getting through there. Not going to happen. Okay. So let's just go ahead and talk about this turn. It should not take long. Still waiting to see what Wirraway's plan is up here now that he has Lanchow. I thought he would continue pushing towards signing. There's a lot of points there. I don't really see why he wouldn't, given the sorry state of affairs in the Japanese forces right now. I'm sorry, the Chinese forces. I mean, look at this. These guys are beat up. They're not combat ready or effective. So I would think to be in pursuit of these guys would make the most sense to me. But, you know, I don't know. Something else that I mentioned this in the previous video is why are these AT guns moving north to Urumqi? And I talked to Deswolf about that, and he said basically because this is the only base worth anything north of Lanchow other than signing. Because it has oil and supply and everything, it makes the most sense to stay and defend this base if you're going to defend anything. So that's why he's moving those guys up there. There's no point in throwing him in to die down here when these weapons can be used at a base that has something that the Japanese need. Okay, that makes sense. Now, this is what I don't understand. Why did Wirraway attack here? What is he trying to gain by this? I've been saying this for quite a long time now. This is not a hex that he's going to ever break through. Okay? Look at the losses in the combat report. I believe it's here. These losses are sustainable by the Chinese. And look at the assault odds. 1-64. Every turn he would... It's... Okay. It's not going to happen. Wirraway. This ×3 terrain with that much AV in there, even with poor Chinese troops, you can't stack enough in there to overwhelm them. He's not using the appropriate amount of bombers to bomb these. It's just not going to happen. So why he continues to beat his head against this wall and try to break through here, I don't understand. He needs to get more asymmetrical. I appreciate what he's doing here, this line drive to this direction, although I think it's been thwarted by these troops coming in to block him off. I like the fact that he's thinking outside the box and trying to find a way to break this stalemate, but this is going to get shut down, and this is a dead end. So, again, I think he needs to be looking this direction. Now, again, he doesn't see what we see, right? But there's a hole here, and I think Wirraway needs to start looking for other ways around. If he could get troops in through here, and maybe come in and flank these guys. He could take Kwai Um, also, well, jeez, I don't even know if that's gonna work, huh? Because then he'd have trouble getting supply in there. Heck, I don't know. I think that Wirraway's kind of out of luck here in China. I think he's gone as more or less as far as he's gonna go. I was thinking about thinking outside the box, trying to flank around, but this road here would be a serious issue getting supply to your Japanese troops. You can get them up here, but they'll have no supply, right? Yeah, I don't even know what he can do. Yikes. Well, if you guys have a better plan than I do for China, for the Japanese, let me know what it is. The Allies have got this thing locked down, in my opinion. And stacking limits is the reason. I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing. I'm just saying in China, I feel like stacking limits absolutely benefits the Chinese. So, the ground battle is what it is here. There's not much to say about it right now. It's just jockeying for position at the moment. The big story here is that the Wirraway's Kido Butai appears to have moved off, right? We see something here. I don't believe that's actually carriers. That does not look like carriers. To me, it looks like Kido Butai left just as fast as they came. They're probably somewhere down here in the Andaman Sea, heading back to Singapore to refuel. So what does that mean? They're going to have to come down to Singapore. They're about here right now, and I'm sure he's slowed them down to mission speed. So he's got maybe 1, 2, maybe 2.5 turns to get back to Singapore. So 2.5 days. Let's call it 3. He's going to want to stop, refuel, and repair his ships in Singapore because that full speed running that he's doing causes a lot of damage. And then it's anybody's guess where the Kido Butai is going. But if I were a betting man, I would say it's probably going to head out in this direction, right? So I know that leaves Desert Wolf with a window of opportunity of maybe 3 weeks to get something done with this carriers out here before the Kido Butai shows up. And despite the strength of the this carrier task force here, right? It's definitely no slouch with all these aircraft aboard, right? It's still, I don't know if it's enough. I don't know. These F4F Wildcats are still quite inferior to the Zero in many ways. Now, the pilots are great, okay? I'm not taking that away from them. Excellent experience, excellent skills, but you can bet the Japanese have the same thing, if not better. They have just as many good pilots as the American carriers do, but their aircraft have an edge. So I wouldn't call that a good trade. We know that the Allied torpedo bombers are basically non-existent here. We don't have them. So we got some Albacores, which are basically not any good. So all he has are dive bombers, which are effective if they get through. If they get through. These dive bombers are materially superior to the Val, without question. But what we don't have here are any good torpedo bombers. So all we have are fighters and dauntlesses. The Japanese Kates, if they get through, will cause serious damage to whatever they get through to. And I would say even at this point in the war, and this is my opinion, if you guys disagree, by all means put it in the comments. I still don't think if this task force went up head to head with the Kido Butai as like we saw it off of Akagi 2 turns ago. Now, I think it would be a negative trade. I think that the Allies would lose way more than the Japanese did, at least right this minute. But I could be completely wrong. Where we may not even be looking for that kind of a fight because he will definitely lose something. And I don't, with as cautious as he tends to play, I don't know if he's willing to go take that fight. But since we're already over here, we can look at the situation. I still don't know where we're going right now. We have a lot of task forces, but they're not named. The last thing that says anything is Macon Landing Force, and that's long since done. No troops loaded here. No troops loaded here. Again, I assume we're going to Mili because that's the closest thing, and Nauru seems increasingly more unlikely. But I don't really know. He's moving some AVDs, which are basically seaplane tenders, up to Ocean Island. just to get more PBYs there. He's moving some more of these seaplane tenders up to Macon. That makes sense to me. That's fine. But other than that, I don't see anything that's really showing me much as to what Deswolf's plans are. One thing that I thought was interesting this turn was that let's see if we can find it. I think it was the S40. Let's see, where is it at? Okay, the Dutch K-17 basically sank this Akane Maru a tanker. There it is. Why Wirraway is operating tankers anywhere in this area right now like that without a humongous escort seems crazy to me. I mean, look at all these subs. He's seen these subs. He knows they're here. I would not be operating anything I wasn't willing to lose in this area. If I was going to do that, I would be using crappy tankers, not that thing. Whatever that thing was, the Akane Maru looked like a Tonin Whaler class or something like that. A Nissan, something big. It looked big. It's not reported as sunk yet, so we'll have to wait and see. But that is not the kind of tanker I'd be using on the front lines. You want to use those big tankers on the main trunk routes, like coming out of Balikpapan, coming out of Palembang, and moving that stuff to Japan, right? You'd use those big tankers to move your heavy lift oil supply stuff to mainland Japan, not to resupply frontline units. So I don't know what that was about. Kind of a big mistake. Yeah. Okay. So to summarize, I don't know what Desert Wolf's doing. If you guys know, let me know. We'll do some quick checkup on a couple little things before we go. I was taking a peek out here, and I do see that the Wichita and the Columbia are about to Christmas Island. I also see that the carriers are no longer going to Christmas, but are diverting to Tabatuea. So that's very telling. It does appear that Desert Wolf is heading towards the Gilberts with his carriers. To what end, I don't know. I also see something interesting here. I don't know what this is. This is like a dead end unit here. I don't know where these guys are going. It looks like they're like he's got these guys set to go, remain on station, come out here and hold off. So this may be an invasion task force of some sort, and he doesn't want to send them in. Well, okay, look at that. I think I just figured it out, guys. This very well could be the invasion task force destined for Millie, because if you look at this line here, it's in line with Millie. So it does appear now that I'm seeing this that Desert Wolf is moving a amphibious task force right here, and he's holding off, and he's probably waiting to find out what the Kido Butai is going to be doing, or waiting to get his carriers in position until he's ready to move in. Also, I was looking around here and I saw a bunch of destroyers here. I don't really know what they're doing, right? And I also see this, an AO task force. This is a refueling task force, right? These are fleet whalers. They're standing off near Johnston. So I'm wondering if these are going to be used in conjunction with the carriers to refuel these guys and keep them in the fight longer. So he may be moving... what's this about? I don't even know. Okay. Sorry. Back to what I was talking about. He may be forward deploying these guys for, well, I don't even know what this is now, because these guys aren't even configured as a replenishment task force. These guys are a tanker. I'm so confused right now. I don't know what's going on. So I'm going to stop talking. Let's let the next turn happen so I can get more clarity. But carriers are moving to Gilbert's. These guys are standing off here. Kido Butai is missing. Boy, there's so much going on right now. I can't even figure it out. So, before I end this video, this is so disjointed. I apologize, but it just came to me. We can take a look at what's going on at Akyab since I'm looking at it right now. Despite what I thought, rather than tripling up or quadrupling up the air cover at Akyab, Desert Wolf actually pulled them away and relocated, I'm guessing, a lot of this stuff up to Chittagong and left just a bare minimum of aircraft in Akyab. There's only a couple damaged and a couple ships here left. He pulled the rest up here to Chittagong under the cover of a lot of basically a lot of hurricanes here. And here's the couple of the ships that were damaged the last turn. The Hawkins, which appears to be fine, and the Marblehead, which appears to be fine, all survived and have been relocated to Chittagong and will probably go up into Calcutta, I'm assuming, to the shipyard for more permanent repair. But there you go. I'm done now. I mean it. I'm not going to talk anymore. I hope you enjoyed the video. I apologize for the disjointed nature of it, but I kind of went off on some tangents when I found things. So we need to watch the next turn. I think that's going to give us more clarity as to what's going on here. I didn't get enough out of this one to really figure out what's going on. So I'm going to stop talking. I'm ending this, and I'll see you guys for the 24th of November, whenever that is.